Perfect Blue is a Japanese animated psychological thriller film released in the year 1997. The plot of the film follows a Japanese pop idol, Mima Kurogi, who decides to quit her singing band to become a full-time actress. Between the ongoing stresses of filming, her regret over leaving the band, and her fear of being stalked, she sheds her clean-cut image and starts to lose her grip on reality. The film starts with a theater play by Powertrons. After the play, the audience is disappointed to waste their money as they did not like the show. They are also seen discussing the famous singer Mima Kurogi, who is a member of a J-pop idol group named Cham. The scene cuts to Mima preparing for her final singing concert. Before the show, she keeps on throwing tantrums, annoying the staff in the green room. Finally, the show begins and the crowd goes crazy for the band. During the performance, a group of perverts tries to stir trouble as they think Mima is best suited as an actress rather than a singer. Mima's managing agency contemplates the fate of her career as a singer or an actress. Meanwhile, after the show, just when Mima is about to announce her exit from the group, a fight begins in the audience between the perverts and Mima's loyal fans. Exacerbated by the crowd's thuggish behavior, Mima gets upset and expresses that she wanted to have a good time in the show. This infuriates one of her loyal fans, and he picks a fight with the perverts despite being injured. Finally, Mima breaks the news that she is quitting the band and appreciates the audience for their constant support in her 2.5 years of journey in the band. She expresses her hope that the audience will also support her as she does her best as a rookie actress. At least, she requests the audience to maintain silence as she performs her final song. The audience is surprised by such an announcement and listen to her final song calmly. After the show, when Mima leaves the concert, the audience goes crazy for her. She also receives letters from her fans as a gesture of love and admiration. Mima returns to her apartment and, after cleaning up the mess, hops into bed to sleep. After she wakes up, she takes down the poster of her band from the wall and picks up the fan letters to read. In one of the letters, she reads about Mima's room and is surprised to discover it. Just then, her mother calls her and insists Mima not to leave her singing career as everyone in the family looks forward to her songs. She thinks Mima is best suited as a singer and must not leave her flourishing career. Mima tells her mother that the pop idol image is suffocating her. During the call, Mima receives another call, but the person on the other line does not utter a word. Thinking it's a wrong number, Mima continues talking to her mother and is again interrupted by the bath bell. She hangs up the phone and a moment later receives a fax with "traitor" written all over it. The next day before her shoot, Mima shows the fan letter to her friend and former pop idol Ruma Hideka to inquire about Mima's room. Rumi tells her that she can access the given link to get the website through the internet, but Mima does not understand anything. Mima is cast in a minor role in a television detective drama called Double Bind. She admires Irisan, the lead actress performing the scene, and wishes to become like her one day. Finally, her turn to act comes and Mima nervously goes in front of the camera. Rumi realizes that Mima only has one line to act, and just then Mima's agent Tadokoro also arrives at the shooting to make sure Mima is doing fine. Seeing Mima rehearsing her small dialogue over and over again, the rest of the crew and actors make fun of her. The producer of the show arrives and praises Irisan for her brilliant performance and hands her a bunch of fan letters. However, he keeps one letter as it does not belong to Irisan. Tadokoro lobbies the producer to give Mima a few more lines, but he refuses by saying that pop idols are not of much use. He then gives Tadokoro the letter that came for Mima. As soon as Tadokoro opens the letter, an explosion takes place, interrupting Mima's take. Mima rushes to Tadokoro and screams to get an ambulance. She reads the torn pieces of the letter, which says a warning that the next explosion will be a real one. A few days later, Mima is seen asking Rumi if they should have reported to the police about the incident. Rumi reminds her that Tadokoro does not want to involve the police and has asked to keep the incident under wraps as no one could do anything about it. However, Mima thinks that it was a crime and that it could have been her who opened the letter. Rumi explains to her that it was just a prank and that fortunately Tadokoro wasn't badly hurt. Rumi then shows her how to use a computer and access the internet. Mima finds it difficult to handle a computer, but Rumi keeps guiding her. Mima soon learns how to use the computer, and one day, following directions from a fan letter, she discovers the website called Mima's Room. To her surprise, the website contains public diary entries written from her view and has her daily life and thoughts recorded in minute detail. Mima is anxious to see how someone knows so much about her. The next day, she continues her shoot for Double Bind. When Rumi sees the final cut of the show, She is resented to see that Mima only has 3 shots in it. She questions Tadokoro if this is worth it for Mima to leave her pop idol career. Tadokoro explains that he landed Mima the character with much difficulty as times have changed, and there's no place for pop idols to appeal to the masses. Rumi feels bad for Mima as she came all the way to Tokyo to pursue singing and is now being treated as a side character in the dramas. Mima's fans are seen discussing the fact that Mima is merely seen in the show and that she needs help. Mima's obsessive fan, Meme Mania, listens to the public's opinion and is upset by Mima's change from a neat image. One day, while Mima is traveling to her agency, she feels paranoid about being stalked. She enters the office. Her team is seen celebrating her band's new single. Mima begins to regret leaving the band as she is missing out on its new victory. Rumi hands her a new script with a few more lines. Soon, Tadokoro succeeds in securing Mima a larger part in the show that involves an assault scene at a strip show. When Rumi finds out about the development, she flips out and assures Mima that she will get the scripts changed. However, Tadokoro insists Mima take the script as he promised the producer that Mima was changing out from a pop idol. Rumi loses her cool and starts shouting at Tadokoro that it is her job to protect the celebrities in the agency. Despite Rumi's protest, Mima accepts the role by saying that she has decided that she will become an actress, for which she will have to take up challenging scripts. Rumi is shocked and suggests Mima think over it again, but Mima does not budge, rejecting Rumi's suggestions. On her way home, she sees her reflection in the train window dressed in her former idol outfit, saying that "I would absolutely refuse to do it," leaving Mima puzzled. Ignoring her illusions, Mima continues with the role and starts the shoot for it. The camera rolls, and in the strip club, Mima starts stripping, after which she gets assaulted in the scene. Rumi is unable to watch the scene as tears can't stop rolling from her cheeks, and she leaves the room. After the scene, Mima feels tired and mentally disturbed. She returns home only to find all her fish dead. Devastated, she laments over her fate, expressing that she didn't want to do the scene, but she couldn't disappoint the people who brought her this far. She once again sees her reflection in the mirror, questioning her that this is what she wanted to do with her life, leaving Mima even more distraught. The scene cuts to Meme Mania updating false information to the website Mima's Room, and it turns out that it is him who runs the website and stalks Mima at every step of her life. Soon, Mima starts giving interviews emphasizing the fact that she wants to be recognized as an actress and not as an ex-pop idol, earning the public's resentment. One day, when Mima visits the website, she flips out after seeing the wrong information written in her name. Just then, her former self-reflection appears on the computer screen and claims that she's the real Mima. She makes Mima realize that deep down she still wants to be a pop idol. Mima denies her claims and feels heartbroken to be called a filthy woman with a tarnished reputation. Soon the scriptwriter of the show is murdered in an elevator, leaving everyone shocked. Mima is severely disturbed and suspects that the death is connected to the explosive letter, but Tadokoro brushes off her suspicions. A few days later, Mima is offered a bold photo shoot by photographer Murano, and she accepts it. Soon, she begins suffering from psychosis and struggles to distinguish between her real life and unreal illusions of her former self. On the other hand, Meme Mania has an illusion of the real Mima singing in the Chams band, so he feeds the information on the website accordingly. Later, Mima's nude photo shoot is printed on the magazine covers, and Meme Mania is furious to discover it. He buys all the magazines from the shops to avoid them from reaching the public. The illusion of the real Mima starts getting in Meme Mania's head, and he receives an email from Mima to eliminate the imposter. One day after her shoot, Mima drops by her former office to meet her band members, but is surprised to see her former self sitting with them. She starts chasing the illusion through the stairs and onto the street, and gets hit by a truck. Just then, she wakes up and it turns out that she was having a nightmare. Rumi visits her, and seeing the troubled Mima advises her to stop looking into Mima's Room website. She also assures Mima to stop worrying, as illusions can never come to life. Soon, Mima's paranoia of being stalked hinders her acting capabilities, troubling her co-actor. Rumi visits her again, and is shocked to see Mima suffering to distinguish real life from illusions. Despite Rumi's suggestion to ignore the website, Mima begins increasingly obsessed with Mima's Room. Her co-actor suspects that Mima's illusion might have found someone to possess. In the meantime, photographer Murano is viciously murdered. Mima wakes up from a nightmare only to discover that Murano died of multiple stab wounds. Horrified, she finds evidence in her house which makes her appear to be the prime suspect. Soon, her house is stormed with media inquiring about the connection between the photographer and the screenwriter's deaths. Amidst the chaos, Mima manages to shoot her final scene of the show, which reveals that her character killed and assumed the identity of her sister due to trauma-induced multiple personality syndrome. Finally, the show wraps up and the entire crew applauds Mima's efforts. Everyone from the studio leaves and Mima goes to her changing room to change. Just then, she is attacked by Mimania, who attempts to assault and kill her following the instructions from the real or the pop idol Mima's email. He reveals to Mima that he killed the screenwriter and the photographer, leaving Mima shocked. Mima struggles to escape the psycho Mimania and ends up knocking him unconscious with a hammer. Rumi returns from the car to see what's taking Mima so long. She finds Mima backstage pondering over what just happened with her life as Mimania's body disappeared. Rumi drives Mima to her house where she wakes up in a room modeled on Mima's own room. She calls Todokoro, but it turns out that Todokoro has been murdered and his body is dumped along with Mimania's body. Mima soon realizes that it is not her room that she's in. Just then, Rumi reveals herself and it turns out that Rumi made the Mima's Room website, committed the serial killings, and the delusions that persuaded and reproached Mimania. Rumi also tells her the reason behind her motives, revealing that she was irked by Mima quitting her singing career and therefore wanted to ruin and replace her, to redeem her image. Mima finds it difficult to believe and asks Rumi to stop acting like her, but to no avail. Rumi, who always wanted to be Mima, attacks her and stabs her in the neck. Mima manages to escape by jumping from the terrace. However, Rumi's Mima personality chases Mima through the city to kill her. Soon, Rumi snaps out of her Mima personality and is injured by a shard of a mirror. Injured and dazed, she starts walking on the road blindly. Mima saves her from being killed by a truck, after which the two of them are taken to a hospital. A few months later, Rumi is seen living in a mental asylum where the now famous actress Mima visits her. Rumi's doctor appreciates Mima for visiting despite her busy schedule and tells her that Rumi returns to her real persona once in a while as she still believes she is a pop idol. Mima does not blame Rumi for anything and instead thanks her for teaching her a lot from the experience. After giving Rumi flowers, Mima returns to her car and overhears two nurses finding it difficult to believe that a famous actress like Mima can visit a mental hospital. They think she must be a Mima doppelganger, as the real Mima Kurogi would never visit an asylum leaving her busy schedule. The film ends with Mima entering her car, all cheerful. She smiles at herself in the rearview mirror and utters, "No, I'm the real thing." Thank you so much for watching till the end. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a like and comment your thoughts down below. If you'd like to stick around, check out these other videos from the channel. And before you leave, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more anime in minutes.